Hi, this is Preston Sandlin with Home Inspection Carolina, and today I want to talk to you about in home inspection a routine. Every home inspector, when they inspect a house, they have a routine that they go by, and because houses come in all different shapes and sizes, years, construction, types of construction. Of course, my dog wants to start barking when I do a video. Um, hadn't barked for an hour, but as soon as the camera came on. So how does an inspector, inspect a 100-year-old farmhouse, and then a brand new condo, high rise? And I'll tell you, it's a routine. They have a routine and sort of an order of operations, kind of like in math. You know how you have like, please, my dear Aunt Sally. Same thing with home inspection. Now, everybody home inspector doesn't have the same routine, but they certainly should have a routine and not just be like, hey, I think I'll inspect the roof. I think I'll go inspect the crawl space. Let's go look at that room. So, I can't speak for all inspectors, but I can tell you my routine. And sort of after about 23 years of doing home inspections, it works pretty well for me. When I arrive to the house, I'm obviously going to be observing the outside. As soon as I drive up, I'm looking for drainage. I'm looking at the roof. I'm just kind of looking at everything. I want to know where the water goes when it rains. I'm looking for big trees near the foundation. Anything, that I know from past experience that could cause problems. But the first thing I'm going to do is just go turn the dishwasher on because I need to get that going. So I'm going to go in and turn the dishwasher on. If they've got dishes, I'll ask because I want it to run a cycle. I'll go ahead and pour soap in there. If they've got it, choose it under the sink. Go ahead and it'll be great. I can do their dishes for them and find out if it's working all at the same time. So anyway, but then I'm going to come back out and I do the exterior first. I make multiple circles around the property doing the exterior, each time varying my elevation and looking at different things. It's a minimum of 3 trips around, could be 8, 9, 10. I stop going around the outside when I make a lap without finding anything that I hadn't already found. Every time I find something new, that's another lap. Or it's causation for another lap until I haven't found anything new. Now, like I said, I'm going to vary my elevation. I'm going to be looking at the foundation. I'm looking at the exterior. I'm looking at the wall, exterior veneer. I'm looking for cracks. Looking at the trim. Looking for rot, that sort of thing. I'm looking at the roof. I'm looking at the roof line. Now, we are going to get up on the roof, but I'm seeing what I can see from underneath. Also taking mental notes of anything that I do see that, when I check the interior or that sort of thing, that I make sure to look at that area. After I've documented via pictures, recording, clipboard, some inspectors do it a different way. The next thing I'm going to do is get up on the roof. I probably get on about 60 to 70% of the roofs. We don't get on the roof if it's too steep or over 3 stories. We'll probably get up on about 80% of the roof actually. Always want to get on the roof if I can because looking at the binoculars is just not the same, and you can't get the angle you can from walking on the roof. So up on the roof, I'm checking the shingles, checking any damage, granular loss, cupping, curling, any leak areas. I'm checking flashing. Where I'm checking the valleys, the chimneys, the roof, the plumbing vents, any kind of flue, furnace vents. Checking all of that. I'm checking for hail damage, looking for any type of problem, and also I'm also looking. Sorry, that was my wife. I swear, nothing happens here until I try to do a video. Dog barks, wife starts calling me. But anyway, I am looking at the roof, looking for any problems. Also making a mental note, taking pictures. Mental note because the next thing I'm going to do is the attic. So I want to look at the attic specifically, where it corresponds, that sort of thing. All right, so as soon as I get off the roof, I'm coming down, going in the house, and I'm going up in the attic. I'm basically now inspecting the house from the top down. I'm going to go up in the attic. I'm looking at the rafters. I'm looking at the trusses. I'm looking for any damage, looking for any leak stains. Anything that's out of the ordinary, anything overspanned, any cracked trusses, rafters, anything like that. I'm also looking for any kind of rodent infestation, rats, bats, squirrels. Probably could have made that rhyme somehow. Checking to see if the wires, or if they have had rodents. Some of them like to chew on the wires. That's very unfortunate. Droppings, that sort of thing. I'm also checking the insulation level, checking the ventilation. And leaks are usually going to show up as a dark stain if it's been going on a while. Also want to check all those valleys, man. That's where if there's a leak, a valley, or where the chimney attaches, checking all of that. Just be sure wherever you step, you've got this insulation. You can't just walk on the insulation. You've got to step on a joist. There's usually a joist that corresponds with every rafter and runs the same way. Also, the other thing is look for any pelted down insulation. If there's pelted down insulation, that probably means water has come drip down. Definitely look underneath all the flue vents, especially where they come to an elbow. A lot of times they'll leak and come off that elbow. So from there, I'm going to get cleaned up a little bit. I'm probably got insulation all over my socks and stuff, and clean that up a little bit. I'm coming down, putting the attic back up, cleaning up if any insulation gets on the floor. I'm going to go room to room. One other thing while I'm in the attic, the water heater's there, the furnace is there. I'm going to go ahead and check it while I'm there. That's a whole other thing, but checking for the drip pan, condensation line, the furnace, the flames, see if it's cracked heat exchanger, if it's gas, if it's electric, rust, corrosion, all kinds of stuff. Same thing with the water heater. If it's there, it could be there, it could be in a closet, it could be down in the garage. But if it's a two-story house, more than likely one of your furnaces and air conditioning systems, HVAC unit's going to be upstairs. So go ahead and check that out while I'm there. All right, and also checking the airflow on all the vents, see if any's escaping. All right, so then I'm coming down, I'm going room to room. I'm checking the lights, the outlets, the fans, doors, windows, making sure they go up and down, there's no cracking. If there is, obviously I want to know what's causing that. Is it minor, or is it a major structural thing going on here? Checking all the bathrooms, running all the sinks until they're full, and then pulling the plug and checking underneath, checking the toilets, making sure there's no cracks, the tubs. Again, I want to fill the tubs up if there is a tub with a basin, because a lot of times you won't see a leak until the water backs up a little bit and there's a little bit of pressure on it, but they should be able to handle the pressure of a full basin emptying out. So then I'm going to work my way downstairs. Usually as soon as I get downstairs, the first thing I want to inspect is the kitchen, because I want to check the stove, the oven, all the GFCI outlets, when there are GFCI outlets in the bathroom too. Microwave, all the cabinets. I'm just checking all that stuff out. Obviously marking, taking pictures, anything, and then I'm going to go room to room, just like I did upstairs, checking outlets, windows, doors. I want to check lights, ceiling fans, make sure the dimmer switches work, and that sort of thing. And then I'm going to go out to the garage, if there's a garage, check the up and down on the door, the pressure, make sure it's operating, make sure there's a firewall between the door and the living quarters, checking for termites on the wall, anything like that. Also checking the GFCI outlets in there. And a lot of times that panel box will be out there. Wherever the panel is, I'm going to inspect it when I come across it. Probably 75% of the time it's going to be in the garage. So I'll go ahead and check that. It could be on the exterior, it could be somewhere off the kitchen or closet or something like that. But a lot of times it's in the garage. All right, after that, I saved the best for last, and that's the crawl space. I like to do the crawl space last for several reasons. First and foremost, you're pretty dirty after you come out of crawl space, so I really don't want to go that much into the interior of their house after I've been in the crawl space. But the other thing is I want to run everything in all the drains, all the sinks, run the dishwasher. So if there is a leak, it'll be underneath and it'll be fresh when I go under there. So when I inspect the crawl space, usually I'm going to go around to the right and just sort of follow a pattern all the way around the right and then go in the middle. I'm looking for termites, fallen insulation, moisture damage, high moisture, checking moisture probes. I'm also going to check furnace air conditioner if there's one in the crawl space, checking all the ducts, make sure they're connected. Looking for any rot, anything like that, wood debris in the crawl space. I'm looking for any drainage issues. I'm looking at the plumbing, the electrical, see if anything is out of the ordinary or if there's been any leaks. I'm also looking for the drainage. If there is a drainage issue or standing water, usually there is a drain on the lowest point of the crawl space. Should have gravel as a filter on that. Make sure that's there. And just make sure that there isn't an issue with standing water or water running through the crawl space. Also, if there were any cracks inside the house or doors, knocks, I'm going to be checking, particularly tuned in to, underneath there, is there some sort of support issue or something like that. So then I'm going to come out and I'm going to talk to the clients. I'm going to show them all my pictures, and then I'm going to go home that night and type up the report. And we'll have it for them. I'll probably have it on there that night, but I tell them by the next morning, unless there's something extraordinary that's and if there was anything that I need to take pictures of and get some numbers down to look at code or something, I'll do my research before that report comes out. But then you'll have the report the next day, and it'll have the summary. I recommend that you read the whole report. Please don't. Man, honestly, I hate summaries because it makes them just read the summary and they don't read the whole report, but read the entire report. There's stuff on there. We have a lot of informational stuff like where your cutoffs are, filter sizes, things like that, that you'll need for home ownership. But anyway, probably rambled on and on, but that's our process for, we have several inspectors. That's my process, and let me say that. A lot of inspectors have something similar, maybe not exactly, but that's worked well for me. And you can tackle any house, any size, any age. Obviously, some houses are going to be slabs, and they're not going to have a crawl space. Condo may not have an attic or a roof that you're inspecting. Obviously, if there's one of those parts you can't do, you can't do it. But that's the order of operations in a normal house. I hope this has been helpful. If you're buying a house, please, nothing takes the place of a professional home inspector. If you're in Charlotte or Raleigh or Asheville area, please give us a call. There's a lot of good home inspectors out there. But if you wanted to, we have a checklist. If you go to our website while you're there, if you want to look at some things, certainly, because I've seen some houses that people put a due diligence down on, and man, it was something pretty obvious. Now they're going to lose their due diligence or something. So if you wanted to do a sort of a mini inspection, check out our seller's inspection checklist here on the website under resources. And that's like 45, 46 different things to look for. Anyway, this has been Preston Sandlin with Home Inspection Carolina. I hope this has been helpful, and it's just good to have a routine when doing an inspection. Thank you.